in doubt, have a conversation.
We're starting at this one first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tonight on UI7 News, the Graduate Employee Organization reaches day 10 of striking. Tonight, University of Illinois leadership is speaking out.
Also, if you have a Venmo account, beware. Some students say they're being scammed for up to thousands of dollars. We spoke with someone who avoided the scam.
And there's less than 2 weeks until the Illinois primary election. Champaign County Clerk Gordy Holton talks about why it's important to get out to the polls. UI7 News starts now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, UI7 News, your U of I news source.
Hello, I'm Zach Bearcat.
And I'm Shaniba Nezra, and this is your 5:30 edition of UI7 News. The University of Illinois stands its ground with its offer to the GEO. The GEO strikes for the 10th day, leaving countless of classes canceled.
Tonight, university leaders are speaking out. UI7's Jiyeon Kim has more.
Sounds of chants and instruments fill the air as members of the Graduate Employee Organization continue striking on the 9th day. The university's Associate Chancellor for Public Affairs, Robin Kaler, says that many people believe the university is denying graduate students tuition waivers.
We feel we have a very competitive offer to the GEO. We think it is a very fair offer, and we think it is an offer that provides the support that they're asking for regarding tuition waivers.
She says the biggest concern is working together to get both sides to the bargaining table and reaching a fair contract agreement that satisfies both parties.
It's a little disheartening because, of course, we support our graduate students. The university could not be what it is without a very competitive graduate student program and tuition waivers for graduate employees. So to be characterized as not wanting to do that is very frustrating.
Current teacher assistant Naomi Taub, however, says that the university has been refusing to bargain with the GEO for months in good faith.
I think it's ridiculous that they continue to pretend like they just can't support people that work for them, when really it's power play. It's not really about finances.
The Student Employee Organization is still continuing to strike. They're literally on their way to the President's house right now. As we speak, most students are in support of their fight, but some are sharing their dissatisfaction with the strikes interfering with their academics.
Shut it down!
President of College Republicans Jack Johnson says while he thinks the GEO has every right to strike, their tactic has not been very impactful.
Well, I think if it continues, it means they're going to have to compromise, and probably more so than they intended to, because clearly the university's not going to at this point.
Johnson says he thinks the wages and benefits that the graduate students are currently getting is not bad given the number of hours they work a week. In Champaign, I'm Jiyeon Kim, UI7 News.
Former chairman of the University of Illinois Board of Trustees, Chris Kennedy, is running for governor of Illinois. A meet and greet was held in downtown Champaign on Monday for local voters to attend. UI7's Naya Crittenden has more in lieu of the GEO strikes on campus and why this candidate could matter for future GEO members.
Chris Kennedy greets supporters and talks to local residents about his plan if he is elected governor. Kennedy was the chairman of the University of Illinois Board of Trustees from 2009 to 2015. In his time here, he dealt with previous strikes from the GEO. Kennedy says if he becomes governor, he wants to add $1 billion into university budgets in the state of Illinois.
I want them to be what they are in other communities. That is the economic driver, the place where new knowledge is created, new knowledge that leads to the formation of new companies, that employ people who pay local taxes, fund local schools, and educate another generation ready to begin that economic cycle again and again.
But current co-president of the GEO, Gus Wood, says he is skeptical of Kennedy because he says he was one of the administrators who tried to break the GEO strike in 2009.
So just adding $1 billion is only going to add $1 billion to administrative bloat. and we are totally against that. If they're going to add the money, then it needs to go to the students, the workers, and the faculty.
Wood also says the university is currently working with a $3.6 billion revenue stream and that they already have enough money and are trying to become more corporate.
They're trying to transform the university into a corporate model, and that means taking tuition waivers away from graduate employees. That's one of the first things that they are trying to do, and our strike is stopping them from doing that.
And this now marks day 9 of the GEO strike, and this is now the longest strike in UIUC school history. UIUC junior Diana Leal says some of her classes have been affected, but she says the strike matters because she's hoping to go to grad school.
And I think it's important that the university meets with the GEO to give them a contract since they don't have one right now, and they deserve to be paid fairly.
The GEO says they are willing to take this strike on week after week until their needs are met. For UI7 News, I'm Naya Creighton.
Candidates are hitting the ground running in the final days before the March 20th primary election. The primary will narrow down to the candidate choices for each party. Champaign County Clerk Gordy Holton oversees the election in Champaign County. He says he's looking forward to a smooth election and how voting by mail will affect the voter turnout. County Clerk Gordy Holton says early voting makes all the difference. While many voters still cast their ballots in person, he says voting by mail ahead of time helps manage lines of Election Day.
Election Day is like Christmas for us. We've spent a year preparing for the day, and when the voters get a chance to cast their ballots and the results start to come in, that's a little bit like Christmas Eve.
Holton says he is expecting a smooth election. Popular issues for both parties will vary from race to race and from candidate to candidate. However, he encourages people who were frustrated by previous general elections to take part in the primary.
Turnout for the primary election is usually particularly low, and so if you want to make your voice heard, this is a great election where you can come out and have a big impact because so few people vote.
Holton says spring break will affect the voter turnout across all of Champaign-Urbana. However, he says it is important for students to vote since they spend about 9 months out of the year on campus. There will be an early voting began on February 8th, and Champaign County is adding 8 early voting locations next Tuesday. Voters can go to the clerk's office or send their ballot in the mail.
Voting for the University of Illinois next student trustee is underway. The student trustee represents the student body on the Board of Trustees in an effort to give the student body a voice. UI7's Cristiano Simonetta has more on what issues are important to the candidates.
Or if it's something that I truly heavily support.
3 candidates are vying for the title of the University of Illinois Student Trustee in the 2018-19 academic school year. Current trustee Trayshawn Mitchell and challenger Logan Walker took part in a debate Tuesday night at the Illini Union's Courtyard Cafe. The two were given an opportunity to present their respective platforms as well as answer questions from students in the crowd. The event was held by the Campus Student Election Commission, or the CSEC. The ballot opened this morning at vote.illinois.edu and will continue through Thursday night. A third candidate, Hercules Analytis, did not attend the debate, but is on the ballot. The CSEC, the Daily Illini, and Illinois Student Government came up with 4 main topics for Tuesday night's debate. Near-term goals, the next 150 years, expanding financial aid, and connecting students with administrators. Walker says he can provide a positive and immediate impact in those areas for students if elected.
Those are the really big issues that I had seen as an undergrad and coming into the graduate program, that I want to work with students and help them, because I do think that I can make a difference in this and actually help this university be a better place for students.
Mitchell, who took office last July, says deviating from the norm will help bolster the university financially.
You want to look at, are we using the best for measures? Are there ways we can strengthen this area and not constantly keep on doing the status quo? Because the status quo is also what gets us in a lot of trouble when it comes to terms of allocating funds and utilizing our funds to the best of its abilities.
Regardless of who wins this spring's election, CSEC Vice Chair MJ Abdullah Jr. says it's essential for students to play a part in determining their student trustee.
It's important for everyone to be as aware and understanding of the situations that face them and, their role in kind of shaping the direction moving forward. So.
In Champaign, Cristiano Simonetta, UI7 News.
Let's check in with Stella Yu for a preview of the weather. Stella?
Thanks, Shani. It's currently snowing right outside our studio and we'll face chilly temperatures for the rest of tonight. We can expect a cloudy evening with temperatures hitting 35 degrees. The humidity is sitting as high as 64%. Temperatures are going to slowly rise into the 40s by the end of this week, and the sun will be back.
We'll check back in with Stella for more later in the show.
Coming up after the break, some students have concerns over racial descriptions used in campus safety notices.
Also, students are facing scams in a popular money exchanging app.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
This Friday, we're filling in our brackets with GMI. This blue-haired fan has been cheering the Illini for the past 4 years. We were there for his last game.
And if that isn't enough, we're going to tell you where to find the best pad thai on campus.
Plus, one of our seniors is crossing off an item on their bucket list.
We have planned another full half hour for you this Friday.
Join us live at 9 a.m. by streaming us on YouTube.
And you can see highlights and all of our segments on Facebook.
Good morning, Illini.
A popular app that allows users to exchange money is causing problems for students on campus. University police say they've had several reports of strangers asking students to accept a Venmo transfer. UI7's Evan Khan spoke with a student who avoided the scam.
And I received 2 packages of $500 on Venmo. And so at that point, I was like, I don't have that kind of money, guys. I don't know what this is about. And said, just send it to us through Zelle. And I was like, yeah, no, this is not happening.
University of Illinois student Victor Font could have been a victim of the latest Venmo scandal police are warning students about. It starts with someone asking them to transfer their own money to another person's account using the app.
So they'll transfer the money to you, you'll transfer it back to them, and then they'll cancel the original transaction, so you never get the money that you were promised.
Venmo processed almost $7 billion worth of transactions in 2016, according to MarketWatch. This latest scandal could have an effect on how many students use the app to exchange money. With the latest Venmo scandal, some people are straying away from using the app and instead using cash to make their transactions. Venmo says the app is intended to be used between people who know each other. They say to avoid using it for transactions with strangers. Font decided to take a different course of action to avoid being scammed.
Honestly, I don't think I'm going to use Venmo ever again.
In Champaign-Urbana, I'm Evan Kahn, UI7 News.
University police say if something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. If you are unsure if something is a scam, they ask you to call or email them.
Some U of I students are questioning the use of race descriptors in campus safety notices. U of I7's Allie May has more on the federal law that the University Police Department has to follow and when they go beyond what the law requires.
Most U of I students receive campus safety notices sent to their mobile devices from the University Police Department. And while some may quickly skim through the updates, others are engaging in the discussion over the UIPD's use of racial descriptors. One student says that the use of race in the crime alerts is important, but can be problematic.
I would say color, talking about the race of whoever committed the crime does matter, but there's always going to be problems.
Patrick Wade, the director of communications at UIPD, says that they receive backlash from both those in favor and those opposed of the use of racial descriptors.
We're helping to contribute to that stereotype is the response we usually get. When we don't include racial descriptors, we're told by various people in the community that we're being too politically correct, we're protecting certain classes, and harming the safety of our overall campus because we're not giving as much information as we can.
A federal law called the Clery Act requires the UIPD to alert students of certain crimes that occur throughout campus. However, the law does not require the use of racial descriptors of suspects.
It does not require that we put offender or suspect information in the timely warning. If we had more information, more specific information, like what they were last seen wearing, or if there was something specific that would identify them, like a scar, tattoo, or something, we most likely will not just put out white male.
Another student says she doesn't think listing a suspect's race is necessary.
It doesn't really add to anything. Doesn't matter what race they are. No.
In Champaign-Urbana, I'm Allie Mae, UI7 News.
Undocumented children in the U.S. are at risk of deportation after no deal is reached with the deadline with DACA. The March 5th deadline passed 2 days ago. That's the date the Trump administration gave to Congress to negotiate a deal. DACA is the program that allows temporary protection for undocumented children in the U.S. The Trump administration is taking a strict stance against the program. DACA was protecting nearly 800,000 recipients across the United States, but Washington hasn't gotten any closer to a resolution. This heated national issue has caused a standstill in Congress. In the meantime, most think DACA recipients will continue in limbo.
Although it has been an ongoing national topic, the University of Illinois has students who are DACA recipients, and many of them are affected by the deal. U of I Public Affairs made a statement on Monday saying, "It is important to know that today is not a deadline for DACA. DACA recipients may continue to renew their DACA. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact undocumented@illinois.edu.
And coming up, Stella Yu takes a look at our forecast.
Then Naya Crittenden joins us for the latest on sports.
Stay with us.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
It may be March, but spring temperatures aren't quite here yet. UI7's Stella Yu has the weather.
Despite the nice weather we had over the weekend, today we faced some snow flurries and we're looking at lower temperatures for the nighttime. Local temperatures are sitting at mid-30s and high 30s. As you can see, Decatur's at 38 degrees Fahrenheit, Springfield at 39, and Peoria at 37 degrees. Midwest temperatures are going from 30 to 45 degrees. Paducah sitting in the warmest, 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Indianapolis at 38, and Des Moines and Kansas City are both sitting at 33 degrees Fahrenheit. Now let's take a look at national temperatures. With spring break coming up next Friday, those of you who are interested in going to Florida and Miami is sitting at 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and Phoenix is 82, and Los Angeles is 75 degrees. And East Coast is sitting around high 30s, so for those of you going to the East Coast, you guys should definitely take a jacket. Tonight, we are seeing cloudy conditions at 21 degrees Fahrenheit, northwest winds at 12 miles per hour. And tomorrow, we're seeing a little warmer, 35 degrees Fahrenheit, partly sunny and chilly, west winds at 11 miles per hour. And now for the 5-day forecast. On Friday to Sunday, it's looking a lot warmer as it's hitting 40 to 47 degrees, but the lows will still be in the 20s to the 30s, so make sure you keep your jacket on for the nighttime. With spring just around the corner, daylight savings is coming up at the end of this week. Make sure you remember to set your clocks forward on Sunday, March 11th at 2 a.m. I'm sure you don't want to be the one showing up to class an hour late.
Thank you, Stella.
And now we welcome Nia Crittenden to the set, who's here with some UI7 sports news.
Thank you guys for having me. Coming up on sports, we'll talk about what's next for the men's basketball team. Plus, more on sophomore infielder lighting up for the Diamond for Illini baseball.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Our Hollywood Minute this week features a first look at the highly anticipated remake of Winnie the Pooh called Christopher Robin. The beloved children's book character, Winnie the Pooh, reunites with his childhood friend Christopher Robin, who is now all grown up. The film is set to hit theaters this August.
Hollywood celebrated the Oscars this past Sunday, and history was made for Jordan Peele, who was named the first black artist to win original screenplay. His thriller, Get Out, uniquely challenged racial issues while providing audiences with a comedic and thrilling narrative. Other highlights from the night included the Best Picture going to the shape of water, and political messages involving the hashtag #MeToo movement and the support of DACA.
My favorite moment from the Oscars, I have to say, is when Jimmy Kimmel and Gal Gadot show up at this movie theater, you know, with a random audience and give them snacks.
Yeah, that was totally awesome.
I wish I was there.
Jimmy Kimmel did a great job of hosting. Last 2 years he's been hosting it. And I actually liked how Kobe Bryant got an Oscar. It's pretty cool for an athlete.
Absolutely.
And we're on to sports with Naya Crittenden. Thank you, Naya.
Thanks for having me. We can talk a little bit more about who ended their Big Ten tournament run in a The men's basketball team ended their Big Ten tournament run in a first-round loss to Iowa to finish off the 2018 season. The Fighting Illini went 14-18 overall under new head coach Brad Underwood in his first season coaching in Champaign. The loss against the Hawkeyes eliminated them from the tournament and ultimately ended their chances of going to the NCAA tourney starting next week. The Illini haven't qualified for the national tournament since 2013. While their season was rocky, they're now losing what was supposed to be one of their top players in freshman Mark Smith, who met with athletic director Josh Whitman on Monday and announced his plans to transfer. The 6'4" Edwardsville native was under plenty of pressure in his first season from fans who expected him to be a top player for the Fighting Illini since he was a recruit. He started out the season scoring double digits in the first few games, but his play dwindled once conference play began. Smith was named Illinois Mr. Basketball in 2017 before coming in, an award given to the best high school boys basketball player in the state. He was the first winner in 7 years to pick the University of Illinois during recruiting since Jeremy Richmond in 2010. Illinois announced that he would be granted a full release. The Illini men's Division I club hockey team is heading to Columbus, Ohio for the ACHA National Tournament this weekend. Illinois finished the regular season with a record of 24-10-2 and have won 9 out of their last 11 games. Senior forward James McKing leads the Illini with 9 goals and 24 assists in 30 games. Illinois is ranked 5th in the country and will face the number 12 University of Jamestown in their first playoff matchup on Saturday afternoon. The Illini have not captured the national title since 2008. 3 different Illini athletes have collected Big Ten accolades this week. Starting with Illini baseball, Illinois baseball sophomore Michael Massey has been named the Big Ten Player of the Week. His performance this past weekend earned him MVP in the Big Ten Pac-12 Challenge at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. He hit .500 with 3 doubles during his team's 3-game sweep. Massey had 2 hits in all 3 games, as well as 2 doubles in his team's win over number 11 UCLA. He shares the award with Indiana baseball player Matt Gorski. The Fighting Illini have defeated 3 of the previous 6 NCAA champions and have won 5 straight games so far. They are 6-3 on the season and are currently ranked 25th. And in another career first, Illinois women's gymnastics freshman Nicole Biondi was named Big Ten Co-Freshman of the Week. Biondi won the floor and all-around titles on Sunday in her team's tri-meet at home in Huff Hall, where they faced Lindenwood and Bowling Green. She hit career best marks on floor, beam, and in the all-around. She's the first Illini to win a Big Ten Weekly Award in 2018. Fighting Illini men's tennis freshman Alex Brown was named Big Ten Athlete of the Week. The weekly award is the second for Brown this season and third for the Illinois men's tennis team. Brown went 4-0 this past weekend as Illinois had 2 victories against TCU and Virginia. In singles play, he defeated 2 ITA top 30 opponents at the number 2 and number 3 positions, and in each match, he clinched both of Illinois' team wins. Brown and fellow freshman Caleb Chakravarthy are currently on a 4-match winning streak in doubles play, and they went 2-0 and clinched the doubles point against Virginia on Sunday. On Tuesday, Alex Brown reached a career-high number 50 singles ranking in the Oracle ITA individual rankings. And so far this spring, there are 8 different Illini sports teams that are currently in top 25 rankings in 2018. I'm going to go down this long list here, starting off with men's gymnastics. They're ranked number 3. Men and women's tennis are both ranked number 6 right now. Wrestling is ranked number 12. Men's golf is ranked number 13, and women's golf is ranked number 22. Baseball is ranked number 25, and women's gymnastics is also ranked number 25. And that's it for sports.
That's all we have for you tonight on UI7 News. Thanks for joining us.
For more of our stories, please follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or subscribe to our YouTube channel page. We'll be back next Wednesday with another edition of UI7 News.
Have a good night.
Good night.